How was your relationship with your siblings, and what is the memory of your siblings that you remember, and who used to be your closest?
I have three brothers, elder brothers, and three elder sisters. I lost one sister who was directly next elder to me, and I lost a eldest brother. Among all of them, probably Naliniachi, who was very close to me during my younger childhood. So Naliniachi was in my young childhood. Naliniachi was close to me up to school days. So she is in between Balakshnatan and Narayanamuttan. Narayanamutty and Balakshnatan.
So, what is the order of your siblings?
Yeah, Balakshnatan was the one who stayed in Naduvil for a long time because he was a teacher in my school. His elder one is Professor T.P. Sridharan. So after schooling, I shifted to my eldest brother, T.P. Sridharan. So my adolescence time, my eldest brother was my person who fed me, took care of me. Probably his lifestyle, discipline, social activities all have influenced me in my life. So during that time, my living sisters next to me, Indira, she was 4 years elder than me. When I was doing my plus one, plus two, that is pre-degree, she was also staying there until her marriage. So up to 2-3 years of my college time, my closest sister was Indira. Probably with whom I am not having long stint of memorable stay among all my brothers and sisters, maybe my eldest sister, who is younger than Professor T.P. Sridharan, T.P. Mani. She got married by the time I took my birth. But her husband was in railway in different places. So I visited most of the houses in Coimbatore. Near Coimbatore, there is a wagon tragedy place. And I went and stayed in that Coimbatore quarters when they were in railways. Most of the time they were in northeast, so I couldn't. But when they were in Mysore, I went and stayed there with them in Mysore. So quite often, probably one of the nephews and nieces who is very close to me is my eldest sister Mani's son, Bipin. Now he is in Dubai. So all my Dubai visits, he was very close to me. So if you look at in my life, and Narayanamutty is one who inspired me for civil service, because by the time I graduated, that time he was a teacher of zoology, and then he became IFS, Indian Forest Service. I was aspirant for Indian Civil Service. So during my first year of masters, my attention and concentration was to prepare for civil service. That was due to my, and I visited Tiruvandhuram, Kottayam, where all he worked in Kerala. During that time, I stayed with him. One who keeps contacting me probably every week, my Narayanamutty calls me. So he would have come to this house in Hyderabad multiple times. So you look at all of them, I had a different span, different time, different set of contacts and relationship which I maintained. I don't think I can distinctly say this person was close to me. This was varied time for many reasons. Indirechi, though my during my college days she was there. After that, when she was in Cochin, I went and stayed with her. Her husband was in Navy. So after my graduation, I stayed with her. I got a job in Ahmedabad during that time. Her husband was in Udaipur. So I remember from Ahmedabad, I used to travel quite often to Udaipur. So those children were young. So I used to play with them when they were young. Tinku, who is a nanotechnology scientist today in Cambridge and now with the King's College London. Srinu, who is now in Australia. All of them were very close to me from young childhood. So Udaipur, I used to go from Ahmedabad. I remember my brother-in-law was in defense and he could buy items in a lower price. I purchased my cycle which I used in Ahmedabad from Udaipur, and that was carried in the train. From the railway station to Sac Ahmedabad, I drove cycle. It's almost 8 to 10 kilometers. Imagine a scientist who travels from the railway station to the office by cycle on the road. So they're all good memories, good memories, I think. And during my directorship in Kozhikode, again Indirichi's daughter was doing medicine in Medical College Kozhikode. So I stayed with them more number of days than I stayed in the quarters. And most of the weekends I used to be with them. So relationships are with my siblings. I kept very warm. Probably after my college days, I went back to Kerala 2013 to 18 with my Nanam camp. It was totally supported by Sridharan. During my university days, though he was not supporting me to become director of academic staff college, and he said, no, Kerala is not good academics for you. Later, he recognized me being the director. He took me to many colleges and schools. Probably one person among my family who arranged maximum number of programs for me, public programs, given highlight, pushed me into press media coverage. All that was done by my brother. So he had good academic interest plus social interest, and he found probably I am following his path. My eldest brother was the manager for Naduvil High School, and Naduvil High School students, he wanted to be part of Nanam camp. I did a special camp for my students from Naduvil High School 10th class batch. I think it was in 2015 or 16. 1 year prior to that, there was only one A plus in all subjects. The year where I concentrated on 10th class, there were around 20 A plus. After that year, there were again 1 or 2 only. So you can see, I brought the children to a higher level with minimum number of hours of interaction, and that was actually initiated and triggered by my eldest brother. So academically, yes, he has taken me or directed me in good direction.